and welcome on 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Well, we have to be looking at stories trending in the world of sport. We'll be starting from table tennis, where two Nigerian legends are talking about Olufunke Oshonaike and Edem Offiong. They've been booted out of the competition because they lost their games in straight sets. Funke Oshonaike lost her game against Leonie Hartbridge in 3-2 straight sets, as she was able to, she tried her best, but she wasn't able to win that game after winning her first game against home girl of Singapore, Pwani Ko there. Well, for Edem Offiong, it was also a loss, as she also lost out against Wing Nam. In her own game, she lost by 3-0 straight set also. Talking about the World Table Tennis Global Championship taking place in Singapore. The Nigerians are there. They were there. They've been performing. They actually won their first game, but this time around they lost in the second game, where a lot of people were thinking maybe they'll be able to turn things around after winning their first game there. Well, good one. They tried their best, but it wasn't good enough, as they are out of the WTT Global Championship in Singapore. That's to usher you in to the show once again, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Now we move away from table tennis as we talk about another story trending. Nigerian head coach, when it comes to basketball for women, Otis Wheely, is not a happy man right now because he's really saying he could actually walk away from coaching the Tigress of Nigeria. When it comes to basketball, the man has been with the ladies since 2018, and it has not been a smooth ride for Otis Wheely. Otis Wheely has been with the ladies. He has done a lot of things for the ladies, so at least see them performing so well in competitions. Back-to-back Afro-Basket winner. And also, he took Nigeria to the Olympics. We saw what he did with the girls. And also recently qualifying for the World Cup over there in Serbia. But this man is not a happy man because right now he said he could quit as the D Tigress coach because of money being owed him. A lot of money is being owed this man. He has been with Nigerian D Tigress, and we know what they've done together as a team. Well, recently, money was released to the girls for what they've done, or they did rather, at the Afro Basket. But he said the coaching crew were not included. And this right now is really generating a lot of brouhaha, because it will be good after having so much connection with this Nigerian D Tigress. Now walking away, the World Cup is going to be coming up this year. And it would be good if the NOC, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and also the MBBF can just come together and see how this issue can be sorted out. It's been a big one, talking about Nigerian basketball, both men and women. It has always been a big issue, talking about the issue of allowances, all these players and also the coaching crew. But now he's saying, well, the ladies got some part of the money, but for the coaching crew, nothing came. And right now, he doesn't even care how much they'll be paying him, but let the money be coming as at when due. Otis Wheely, the coach or the head coach of Nigerian D Tigress there. We've been looking at that particular story. It's trending, and the man is saying, well, from the way it is, if nothing changes, he could walk away because he's not really a happy man, despite not any the amount is supposed to be any, yet the one he's actually gone in for is not coming as at when due. Talking about Nigerian basketball, we still don't understand the monster behind that particular federation, making things so difficult for the players who are always at the receiving end of that sport. That's it, a food for thought there concerning Nigerian basketball. We've been taking you around the world of sport. We talked about tennis, where two Nigerians, Olufunke Oshonaike and Edem Offiong, they are actually out from the competition over there at the WTT Global in Singapore. And also we talk about basketball, where the head coach of Nigerian D Tigress is right now saying he could walk away from the Tigress if nothing is done concerning his pay and the entire coaching crew. That's it. Now, let's welcome Abdullahi Kabiru. Good to have you, Kabiru, on 360 Sports.
Good to be here once again.
Okay, let's ride on as we talk about Nigerian Women Football League, where we talked about the results on Thursday, but we're looking at it again so that we can have the result and also the table. In Group A, Nasarawa Amazon defeated Pelican Stars 3-0 as Nigeria Tales of Abuja lost at home against Edo Queens by 0-2 there. It was a good one for Edo Queens. They came, they saw, and they were able to conquer. In Group B now, looking at the result in Group B, Royal Queens defeated Abia Angels by 3-0, and you have FC Robo Queens 1-0 against Rivers Angels. Delta Queens 1, Bielsa Queens 2. Now let's look at the table as it stands right now in Group A. Talking about the women, Edo Queens are topping in Group A after playing, well, it's actually match week 10, but on record is 8 there. We have 20 points for Edo Queens. Nasarawa Amazons are second with 18 points after playing the same amount of matches. They have 15 goal difference. You have Confluent Queens of Lokoja there, 13 points. Nigeria Test of Abuja, 12 points, standing fourth on the log. Adamawa Queens, 9 points. Osun Babes, 8. Pelican Stars, 4. -8 for Osun Babes in the goal difference, while Pelicans are having -16. They've considered so much goals in their encounter. Just 2 goals they score. They've considered 18, and you -2 from 18, you get -16. So much woeful performance coming from Pelican Stars. Now let's move away from Group A. Let's look at Group B as it stands. Rivers Angels are having 19 points, dictated the tune there as the top of the table in Group B. FC Robo Queens of Lagos are second with 16 points. You have Bielsa Queens 15, Delta 14. You have Royal Queens on the 5th position with 7 points, and Abia Angel the same point, 7. Sunshine Queens of Akure with 4. We have -11 goal difference after conceding 15 goals while they score 4. You have Abia Angels conceding 12 goals and having -10. They just score only 2. Well, that's it on Women's League right now in Group A and also in Group B as it stands. Well, for those teams that are leading, Rivers Angels, Edo Queens.
Oh yeah, I remember last time you were saying something about equal pay, like the in Edo they were trying to make it like men who earn the same as women. I think Edo Queens are really making a case for that, honestly. Looking at the table, like they're topping it, unbeaten, they haven't lost a game. So probably that's justifiable, the fact that they're asking for that. Yeah, and Rivers Angels in the preview on the separate group, they're leading as well. So it's good to see like the women's game really developing, like they're doing well. Like you can see Sunshine Stars not doing too well, Abia Angels. But yeah, that's all I can say.
Okay, now we've been looking at the NWFL, Nigerian Women Football League there, the result and also the table. Rivers Angels, Edo Queens are running away with it, although Nasarawa Amazons and other teams are still knocking at the door. Delta Queens still able to fight for honors there in the match day 10 of the Nigerian Women Football League. Well, matches were also played in the English Premier League. We quickly look at those results. Matches were played, and we have it for you. Despite the crisis rocking Chelsea, the players, they were able to get a very good point at the Carroll Road, winning 3-1 against Norwich City. Well, good one. Despite Pookie scoring 1, Chelsea, Mason Mount and all the lads, they did their best. They won 3-1. Southampton against Newcastle United. Newcastle won 2-1 there. Good one for Newcastle. They also came, saw and conquered. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Raul Jimenez was among the scorers there. They walloped Watford, where a lot of Nigerians are playing 4-0. Etebo, you have Etebo, you have Emmanuel Dennis in that squad. Samuel Kalu, not forgetting Truce Ekong. They were beaten 4-0 by Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Millennium Stadium. Leeds United, having a new manager, Jesse March got his own baptism of fire as they were beaten 3-0 by Steven Gerrard Aston Villa. Felipe Coutinho registering his name among the top scorers there. Let's look at the EPL result quickly.
Oh yeah, like Chelsea last night. I was saying yesterday that they would beat Norwich convincingly, if you can remember. And I've been proven right because it was a comfortable victory for them. Mason Mount scoring, the other 2 guys scoring as well. Norwich, they're very bad, to be fair. Probably the worst, the lowest ranked team in the league. They're 20th. They're very bad. They've conceded so many goals. So I wasn't surprised to see Chelsea beating them. I don't know, for some reason, Chelsea don't really miss Lukaku for some reason. You know, he was a big money signing. He came in the summer, but it hasn't really worked out like as planned, like you said. So looking at Newcastle, wow, their resurgence like since January after making the signings. 2 of the signings actually scored yesterday, Chris Wood and Bruno Guimaraes, or some the Brazilian who came from Lyon. They've really turned things around Newcastle from fighting relegation. They're almost like mid-table, 11th, 12th. And looking at Wolves versus Watford, oh my, that was a very comfortable victory for Wolves. They beat Watford. Watford too, I'm worried, I'm scared for them, especially for like our fellow Nigerian players, Ekong, Emmanuel Dennis. I think they might go down this season because they are very poor. They were very poor.
Despite
Yeah.
starting, at least when they started, it was as if, okay, they could make some statement, but right now it seems that particular power is dwindling.
Nah, they're very low on confidence. They're not, the performances were very bad. Like yesterday, they weren't fighting Wolves. No disrespect, they're a good team, but they're not that good. Like to be beaten 4-0 by Wolves, seems like they've given up on, maybe they're just focusing on next season, maybe going back championship or something, because they are very poor yesterday.
I'm really impressed with the fact that the players of Chelsea, despite all that surrounds that club, they are not giving up. I love the fact that they believe in themselves that against all odds we can win our games.
Yeah, like all the situations surrounding ownership of Chelsea, the sales, the sponsorships, like they were professional, they focused on what was happening on the pitch, they delivered on the day despite everything. So that's quite commendable from Chelsea players, like to show the fans that regardless of everything going on, they'll still play and fight for the club.
Now, we've been talking concerning English Premier League matches that were played. Well, a lot of people were thinking maybe Chelsea players would just be feeling the heat, but really, these guys are really equal to the task as they were able to win away at the Carrow Road against Norwich City in that game. They are a good one for Chelsea players and the entire squad and the fans worldwide who are right now not finding it easy psychologically. A lot of people are not happy what is happening to Chelsea, England, Ukraine, Russia crisis. It's a big one there for the Blues. You just have to do things right. Now, let's move away from the EPL. Let's talk about the Europa League. Matches were also played. Let's look at some of these results quickly, as we just have to look at Sevilla. They showed their class as perennial winners. They won against West Ham by a lone goal. They won that game. Good one for Sevilla. Bayer Leverkusen, they lost against Atalanta 3-2. While you were looking at a game that you could be actually be calling an equal performance, 3-2 it ended in favor of the Italian team. Barcelona, surprisingly, they play 0-0. They were held at home by Galatasaray of Turkey. It ended 0-0 there. Rangers, it was 3-0 against Red Star Belgrade. Good one for Balogun, was among the scorers there. Sporting Braga against Monaco, 2-0. You just have to give it up to Sporting Braga for what they actually did. Looking at this particular result.
Oh yeah. Sporting Braga, surprisingly, they beat Monaco 2-0 from their home game. So that was a bit of a surprise because Monaco, I was expecting them to maybe put up more of a fight given all their experience and all where they are in the French league. And looking at Rangers, a comfortable victory over Red Star Belgrade. That was probably expected. You'd say Rangers are a very good side. Obviously, Joe Aribo played well last night. Barcelona, Galatasaray, that was a bit of a surprise. Even though Galatasaray played very defensively, Barcelona couldn't really break them down. So probably in the second leg, maybe since they have more incentive to come out and play, they'll have more chance maybe on the counter-attack to win. But yeah, and the previous game as well, the first one, Leverkusen versus Atalanta, that one was a good game. Like end-to-end stuff, both sides were scoring. Even a Ukrainian scored last night, Malisokovic. I don't know how to pronounce his name probably. But yeah, it was a good game. The Europa League was quite interesting last night. Sevilla, you said the perennial winners of the Europa League, they won their game against West Ham. Yeah, but I think the second leg, West Ham will probably give them a game.
It could be a game at least that a lot of people are looking at, okay, if by the time they come to London, let's see if West Ham can turn things around. It's still very open. After all, PSG were also leading 1-0 before Real Madrid turned things around. So for Sevilla, it's still not Uhuru yet. You just have to be very careful because West Ham, David Moyes, with that mentality with the lads, they can't turn this around when it comes back to London. For Bayer Leverkusen versus Atalanta 3-2, it's still very open. Also, by the time they go to Germany, it can still happen for Bayer Leverkusen. But for Barcelona, Galatasaray, people were expecting a spark from Barcelona. The fact that since Xavi came, he's turned this around. But for that game, for them to be held 0-0, and they'll be going to Galatasaray's home in the next level. we know that next game rather, it means Galatasaray will actually borrow Nigerian language and die there.
Honestly, they have a chance, to be fair. They have a chance because the game is still open. I remember this season, there's no away goal rule. If there was away goals, maybe it changes the dynamic a bit. But these days, even if you score 2 goals away from home, if the team scores 1, 3-2 doesn't really mean anything. If you can win 1-0 the next game, it cancels everything, go to extra time or penalties. So most of these games these days, they're much tighter because, you know, before, maybe in the past, when there was away goals, if you score 2 goals, the team have to score 1 or 2, maybe mathematically, to make it more. But now, most of the games, they're tight. There's no like outright winners. I think most of the games, they can still turn things around in second leg. Okay,
but despite the fact that things are happening around Chelsea, I love the fact that at least the players, going back to EPL now, the mentality is there. I remember one of their players, Rhys James, talking about, okay, let's drop everything behind us. What's happening outside? We are inside. Let's do this business by winning our games. Whatever is going to happen, we don't care. Let's just do this for our fans.
Yeah, I mean, they're professional footballers. This is what they're paid to do. Like, regardless of everything happening at the hierarchy of the club or politics, forget that. Once you're on the pitch, focus on the game, deliver on the night. They still have a bit. They need to catch up to Liverpool. They still haven't secured top 4 yet. So if they can secure top 4, do their job, maybe win a trophy, they're still in the Champions League, I think that will really lift the fans. Because recently at Chelsea, the past few days after the whole news, it's been really, the fans are confused, everything is going left, right, you don't know, the manager might leave, sponsors are cancelling them out, so it's really not a good atmosphere surrounding Chelsea at the moment.
Now, before we leave EPS, talking about Aston Villa, if you have Aston Villa there, let's look at the fact that since Steve Gerrard came, he has turned things around. It seems he's having a Midas touch with that club now. Things are going well. Coutinho, he had a vision, and that vision is really going well for Steven Gerrard right now. Not like that for Everton, man. Talking about Lampard, it's not finding it easy. But for Gerrard, things have been going well with him, with Aston Villa, and all the players are actually joining him. And you see that this is a team right now, they are kind of more determined to move ahead.
Yeah, you know, when you're working under somebody who was such a great player in the past, like maybe you do inspire the younger players, like this guy has been there before, won Champions League, played big games, played everywhere, and bringing a top player as well, somebody like Coutinho to come there.
And the guy is enjoying his football.
He's enjoying, honestly. Like Barcelona, I don't know, maybe it was too big for him. It wasn't the right place. Since coming back to the Premier League, he said it himself, he's glad to be back in England with a familiar friend, Steven Gerrard, former teammate of his. So he's enjoying himself. He scored yesterday, assisted. They've really done well. Gerrard is really doing the bits, unlike his former colleague Lampard at Everton.
Things are not really going well with Everton and Lampard because they are really struggling. But for Aston Villa, it has really turned around for the man of the moment, Steven Gerrard, and Coutinho, who has since at least rediscovered himself. He has gotten his group back with the Villa Park team. We've been looking at matches from the APL and also the Europa League result that took place on Thursday. Now, let's go to the last draw on the show. This is the big one now, making waves across the globe, talking about the Blues, Chelsea. Well, Chelsea sail on hold despite all the issue of sanctions coming from United Kingdom. I think this issue rather, is becoming something that a lot of fans are not too happy about, because yesterday news came out that, okay, the clubs cannot, if they want to go for away matches, 20,000 approval. A lot of issues here and there, and then we later heard that 3 or 4 sponsors are pulling out. This morning, the biggest one coming from Nike, that they will be pulling out as they are considering what to do, £900 million. That will go a long way to affect the club. If they pull out, it will affect the club. I saw that particular story on Daily Mail, and I'm, if this should happen to Chelsea, it won't be good at all, because Hyundai, they pulled out, 3 has pulled out, now it's Nike, and you look at all these sponsors as they are pulling out, it's affecting the club one way or the other. Now the fans are really looking at what's going to happen to our club, and if care is not taken in, just they may not even finish the season. Yeah. But there's an iota of light coming over after the dark tunnel. An Englishman called Nick Kandi. Kandi is a property billionaire. Right now he's offering help. He's a Chelsea fan and he's saying, okay, I can't buy that club for £2 billion. I can't save that club. After all, he's a Chelsea fan. So we have at least an atmosphere that is a bit brighter.
Yeah, I think the UK government, they're trying to frustrate the whole process because of the owner, Roman Abramovich's links to Russia,
Yes.
Putin. They said he owns, is it some army or war? I'm not too familiar with
But the fact
situation.
is,
Yeah.
the fact is that despite that,
Yeah.
I understand that Chelsea being a natural asset over there, but you look at, or rather cultural asset, but you look at this issue. A lot of people have been raising, okay, when this particular war happened, when that particular war happened, and people that are connected with those clubs, why were they not sanctioned?
Yeah.
You understand? Okay, this is about the man that is having some ties with Vladimir Putin, talking about Abramovich. But now, if he's being sanctioned in the UK and Chelsea are going to be the one to bear all the brunt, whatever is happening right now, because it's going to affect that club.
Yeah.
But if Kandi can actually come up with a consortium or be able to buy that particular club, maybe that could be the solution.
Yeah, they're trying to frustrate the whole sale of the club, like the Abramovich sale of the club. They're trying to frustrate the whole thing. So they might not even be able to sell the club at the moment. So there's even talk, obviously, the sponsorships have gone. 3 are trying to take their sponsorship. Nike, like you said, there's talk of the manager might leave. Maybe Man United might be lucky to pick him up if they can't pay them the salaries and all of that. Some might be exaggeration, but like Chelsea might be relegated or administration. I was just hearing about that recently. So some of it might be exaggerated, but they're trying to like, really frustrate the whole process. Like you said, there's a bit of inconsistency there because this isn't the first time. Like they used to say like politics should stay away from football,
from
sports in general. So you think about this, there are other owners, maybe from Qatar, they've had their own human rights cases, from Saudi Arabia, maybe war in Yemen, but none of those clubs have been sanctioned the way Chelsea have been. Even the fans, they talk of like fans can't buy tickets as well. They're trying to like really frustrate the whole club.
Well, as you speak right now, news is actually coming out that they are having meeting, trying to meet with the talking about the Chelsea hierarchy now, meeting with the House, the Parliament to see how they can work things out. I just hope that the Blues can be at least salvaged from this issue. Is a big one, especially if you consider a lot of Nigerians are following them. A lot of Nigerians are following the Blues. Chelsea is a club so admired in Nigeria, in Africa, because of the winning mentality and all the trophy they won so far. When the oligarchy man, talking about Roman Abramovich with his ties concerning Vladimir Putin, is really putting him in trouble right now with that club. Well, just everything will be done. Lots of fat here and there, lots of inconsistency, lots of issues surrounding Chelsea as a club. But the players are not allowing that to deter them from performing their duties. That's why they are being paid and they are doing well. The one they are giving is Norwich City, and it's a kudos to the entire team of Chelsea who did that for their fans worldwide, despite all the problem they are faced with. Good one there. We've been taking you around the world of sport on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. It's been a wonderful time with you, Abdullahi Kabiru.
Great to be here once again.
Good one. Yes, I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.